Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to GBC classes. Hope you all are doing good. So today we're gonna start in our MCQ series with our another topic, that is CNS. Basically not another topic, we have already done one video or one MCQ series based on this CNS. Okay, CNS is kind of important topic for all the pharmacist examination. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's start with our first question here, that says barbiturates are mildly acidic in nature because their pKa value is. So talking about the barbiturates, the type of sedatives and hypnotics, okay, they have this particular property, and these barbiturates are derived from barbituric acid and they are somewhat acidic in nature. And this, due to this acidity only, they are acting as the sedative and the hypnotics. Okay. Now these barbiturate acidic nature is not very strong. Okay, they are not the strong acids, not the strong ones, they are the weak acids. And if we talk about their pKa value is about 7.1 to 8.1. Okay, or we can sometimes also consider it 8.4. So about 7 to 8 it comes. So it is a type of weak acid with pKa value of 7.1 to 8.1. So first is the answer. Now moving to the second question. Butabarbital generally contain. Butabarbital, a type of barbituric acid, which particular group it contains or particular substitution it contains. It is a sec-butyl radical, isobutyl one, sec-pentyl or isopentyl. So first thing, butyl or pentyl, which one is that? So here is the structure of butabarbital. Here we have first position, then second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, and at fifth position we have two substitution. One is ethyl one and one is the meth eth prop butyl one. Okay, so here we have butyl and butyl is attached to the second position, to the major nucleus, or we can say the barbituric acid nucleus or barbiturate nucleus. So it is called as the isobutyl group. Okay, so isobutyl is the answer. Next we have pyrazine nucleus is present in. So asking about the pyrazine nucleus and which particular group it is present. So pyrazine, it is basically a two heteroatom containing ring. Okay, and that two heteroatoms are nitrogen only. Okay, and it is a type of aromatic ring. So it is present in zopiclone, zolpidem or zaleplone or the alprazolam. Zaleplone or alprazolam. So this is the structure of pyrazine. It is a two heteroatom ring, okay, two heteroatom containing ring with both the heteroatom same, that is the nitrogen, and it is the aromatic ring. Okay, so unsaturation is there. So which particular drug that ring contains? So here we look on to zopiclone. So zopiclone, here we have one heterocyclic ring, here we have one heterocyclic ring, and here four heterocyclic rings are there, and in these heterocyclic ring, one we have is the pyrazine. Okay, here we have a pyrazine ring as a heterocyclic ring present in zopiclone. So yes, zopiclone does contain the pyrazine ring. Then we have zolpidem. Now zolpidem, if we look, we again have three rings. Okay, in that only one heterocyclic ring is there, and that is not pyrazine. Okay, it does contain two heteroatoms, but it is a 5-membered ring, so not a pyrazine ring. Next we have zaleplone. Okay, now in the zaleplone we have two heterocyclic rings and none of them is pyrazine. Okay, in the pyrazine it do contain a 6-membered ring with two heteroatoms that are nitrogen, but if we look onto the position also plays a very important role. So in pyrazine at 1 and 4 position we have the nitrogen, but here in 1 and 3 position we have the nitrogen. So that is not a pyrazine but a diazine. Next we have alprazolam. In alprazolam again it contains a benzodiazepine nucleus, but it does not contain any pyrazine ring. So the answer is zopiclone. So A is the answer, that is zopiclone. Now the next question says methylbarbital is chemically. Methylbarbital, a type of barbituric acid. So what is its IUPAC name? So first thing that we have to see that it will contain a barbituric acid nucleus. So here we have a barbituric acid nucleus in the methylbarbital, and here if we start the counting, so the counting will start from the nitrogen that contains the methyl group. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and this is the 6th position. So basically at 5th position we have two substitution, ethyl and the phenyl. Okay, two substitution at 5th position. Then at 1st position we have a methyl group. So it can be said that 5 ethyl at 5th position, ethyl at 5th position, phenyl at 1st position, methyl, and the barbituric acid nucleus, or this barbituric acid nucleus can also be called as that at 1, 2, 3, 6th position, 2nd position and 4th position we have the trione group. Okay, so that is the methylbarbital. So if we look onto the options, so at 5 ethyl, 1 methyl, 5 phenyl barbituric acid. Okay, it says 2 methyl, it says 3 methyl, it says 4 methyl. So methyl group was present at 1st position. Okay, due to that only it was given the 1st position, due to the presence of this methyl group. So at 1st position the methyl group is present. So methylbarbital, A is the right answer. Next it says piperidine ring is present in. So piperidine ring, they are asking about what is piperidine ring? A 6-membered saturated ring, that is called as the piperidine ring. Now which of all these 4 drugs contain piperidine ring? Methylpyrrole, then we have allobarbital, meprobamate or ethionamate. So if we look onto the structures, so this is the piperidine ring as we talked about. Okay, now if we look onto the methylpyrrole, okay, methylpyrrole does contain a piperidine ring. Okay, then we have allobarbital, it contains a barbituric acid, okay, barbiturate nucleus, but it is not a piperidine ring. Then meprobamate do not contain any ring, not even the without a heteroatom or even the normal ring or a heteroatom ring. It doesn't contain any type of ring. So meprobamate, it is not there. Then ethionamide. Now ethionamide contains a ring, but it is not a piperidine ring, it is a pyridine ring. Okay, now don't get confused between the piperidine and the pyridine. They are same, almost same, but piperidine is a saturated one and ethionamide, pyridine, is a unsaturated one or the aromatic ring. Okay, so this is the answer, that is the methylpyrrole. So A is the answer. Next we have saturation of 4,5 double bond in 1,4-benzodiazepine results in the compound with. So they are asking about the benzodiazepine ring. So there in the benzodiazepine ring, if they saturate 4,5 double bond, then what will happen? It will have a potent activity, intermediate activity, reduced activity or no activity. So this is the structure of benzodiazepine. From here the counting will start 5. Okay, and it will go on. Then it is saying that in this benzodiazepine, if the 4 and 5 double bond, means this particular double bond, if they will saturate it, if they remove this double bond, then what effect it will give? So basically this particular double bond is very important for its activity. So removing this double bond, it will result in the reduction in the activity, and this particular double bond is only responsible for the delocalization of the particular nucleus. Okay, delocalization of pi electron is due to this double bond. Then planar geometry of this particular ring is due to the double bond. Then the proper orientation during the binding. Okay, during the binding we need a orientation, a particular type of orientation, a particular type of conformer, so that it can fit to the receptor properly. So that is also happening because of this particular double bond. So removal of this double bond or saturation of this double bond will result in the reduced activity of the benzodiazepine. C is the answer. Next, identify the given structure. So the given structure, again, this is the given structure and they are saying which particular drug structure is this. Is it a clobazepam, temazepam, lorazepam, diazepam? Now it contains a benzodiazepine ring, so it will be a benzodiazepam only. Okay, so all are benzodiazepams. Okay, now which one is this? So here we have a chloro group attached. Okay, now due to the presence of chloro group, it is called as the clorbazepam. Okay, so this particular structure belong to clobazepam. So clobazam is the answer. Next we have barbituric acid is prepared by the condensation of. Now they are asking about the barbituric acid. Now barbituric acid, how we prepare it, what two things we need, so that condensing them it will form a barbituric acid. So one thing in barbituric acid, now if you look onto the options, malonic acid and urea, dimethyl malonate or urea, malonic acid and methyl urea, or diethyl malonate and methyl urea. So one thing is clear, that urea is needed. Okay, now urea is needed. Now is it a methyl urea or a normal urea, that is a different thing, but urea is one of the important thing. What is urea? Structure of urea, this NH2 in both sides, this is the structure of urea. So one reagent is urea, what is the other one? So let me show you the reaction. So diethyl malonate, this is the diethyl malonate, we have two ethyl groups, and this is the malonate. Along with urea, whenever it is condensed or combined, it will give ethyl, in the presence of ethyl hydroxide, it will give what? Barbituric acid. This is the nucleus of the barbituric acid. So B is the answer, that is the diethyl malonate and the urea. Next question, ethyl alpha isoamyl malonic ester is reacted with urea in the presence of sodium ethoxide and it gives. So basically the reaction is with urea only, and here we have a malonic ester. So whatever it will form, it will be a type of barbituric acid, but which analog of barbituric acid will be formed if we use ethyl alpha isoamyl malonic ester? It is an amobarbital, pentobarbital, secobarbital or tar-butyl. Okay, so let's look on to the mechanism first. Okay, the synthesis reaction. So along with this diethyl malonate, that in the presence of ethyl bromide, it will give diethyl 2-ethyl malonate. This in the presence of 1 bromo 3-methyl butane, it will give diethyl 2-ethyl 2 isopentyl malonate. Okay, now this is the reagent that is given, the diethyl 2-ethyl 2 isopentyl malonate. This in the presence of urea, it results in the formation of amobarbital. Okay, so the answer is the A1, that is the amobarbital will be formed. Next we have 7-chloro-3-hydroxy-1-methyl-5-phenyl 3H14 benzodiazepine 2-one is the IUPAC name of. So basically a benzodiazepine ring will be there. Okay, that is the main nucleus, and in that benzodiazepine ring, in the 7th position, chloro is there. So basically first, second, let me show you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the numbering. Okay, now here in this numbering, at 5th position we have a phenyl group attached. Okay, at 1st position we have a methyl group attached. At 3rd position we have a hydroxy group attached, and at 7th position we have the chloro group attached in the benzodiazepine ring. Okay, so here at 7th position we have chloro, at 3rd position we have hydroxy, at 1st position we have methyl, and at 5th position we have phenyl. So this particular IUPAC name, it is the IUPAC name of which drug? The temazepam. here this is the structure of temazepam, okay, and here we have at 7th position we have chloro, 3 hydroxy, okay, 1 methyl, 5 phenyl, okay, and then the benzodiazepine nucleus. So this is the temazepam, the sedation, hypnosis, all that functions it has. So temazepam. Next question, identify the given structure. So this is the given structure, we have to identify it. We have a benzodiazepam nucleus here, so it is a type of benzodiazepine, okay. Now if we look onto the option, it says chlorzepat, then 𝘿𝙁𝑉𝑖𝑡𝑎L, pentobarbital and secobarbital. Now B, C and D, these three are the barbitals of the barbituric acid. They should have a barbiturate nucleus, barbituric acid nucleus, if they are saying that it is a barbital. But here we have a benzodiazepine nucleus, okay. So not even a benzodiazepine nucleus, it is different from that also, but it is not a barbituric acid nucleus, okay. So it can't be barbital. So the option that is left with is chlorzepat, okay. So the answer is chlorzepat, and here we have a chlorine group, okay. Why it is not the B, C and D options? Because they should have a barbituric acid nucleus, and they are the barbitals. Now here we don't have any barbituric acid nucleus, so can't be the barbital one. So chlorzepat is the answer, and here we have a chloro group, that's why it is called as the chlorzepat. Next we have 5-allyl 5-sec-butyl barbituric acid is. So in the barbituric acid, at 5th position we have a butyl, and at 5th position we have an allyl, means something that has a double bond, that is called an allyl. So this particular structure, which barbituric acid it belongs, it is an amobarbital, pentobarbital, secobarbital or tallbutyl. So this particular structure basically belongs to the tallbutyl, okay. So the answer is the tallbutyl. Now next question says oxazepam has lower chances of side effects with low toxicity due to. Now oxazepam, a type of benzodiazepam, okay. Now why it has a lower chances of the side effects? Now in this oxazepam structure, if we see, okay, let me show you the structure of oxazepam. Now here in this oxazepam we have at this particular position, at the 3rd position we can say, we have a OH group, okay. Now due to this OH group, the presence of this OH group, this results in the bypassing of the phase 1 reaction. What is phase 1 reaction? In the metabolism part, okay, whenever there is a metabolism is going on, okay, what is metabolism? To change something into the water soluble form, okay. Now whenever this metabolism is going on, it first undergo the phase 1 reaction, then the phase 2 reaction. In phase 1 reaction, oxidation, reduction, hydroxylation, all these type of reactions occur. Now basically in phase 1 OH groups are added. Now as it already has an OH group at this 3rd position, due to the presence of this OH group, it results in the bypassing of the phase 1. It directly enters the phase 2 reaction of the metabolism, and due to this direct going on to the phase 2 reaction, it results in the reducing of the side effects and the lower toxicity. So what is the reason? The D1, that is the conjugation of the 3rd OH group, that is resulting in the lower chances of side effects and low toxicity in the oxazepam. Now next we have clonazepam, a benzodiazepine derivative again, okay. Now they are asking about that what particular groups or substitution it have. So asking about R1, R2 and R7. So in the clonazepam we have a chloro group, okay, and where we have a chloro group? At this position we have a chloro group. Now at 7th position we have a NO2 group in clonazepam, and at 1st position we have a H, okay. So this is the structure of clonazepam. Now here if we say R2 should be Cl, so R2 should be chlorine, chlorine R2, chlorine R2, here is NO2 and here is H. So A and B, one can be there. Then at 7th position we have NO2, at 7th we have NO2, at 7th we have NO2, both have NO2 at 7. Now the answer will be decided from the R1 position. So R1, this is H, it says it is CH3. So in clonazepam we have H at the R1 position. So the A1 is the answer. That is R1H, R2Cl, R7NO2. So this is the answer. Let me show. This is the answer, A1. Now next it says identify the given structure. So they have given the structure and you have to identify that which particular structure is it. Is it a secobarbital, amobarbital, talbutol or the pentobarbital? So if you look onto the structure carefully, it contains a barbituric acid nucleus. Okay, that's why it is called as barbital. Okay, now all the options are from the barbituric acid or the barbitals only. Okay, now it is basically this particular group and this particular group in the substitution, it is present in the secobarbital. So the answer is the secobarbital. Okay, this particular structure belongs to secobarbital. Now next is the question from IUPAC name. IUPAC name of methohexytone is, okay, so methohexytone, let's look onto the structure. This is the structure of methohexytone. It is a type of barbituric acid derivative. So here we have nucleus of barbituric acid. Now in this nucleus, this is the first position, second, third, fourth and fifth. So at fifth position we have two substitution. One is this double bond containing, one is this triple bond containing. Okay. Now the double bond containing at fifth, we call it as ene or we can also call it as Li. Okay. Both are the, if it is a here this particular group, okay, this particular group that is attached to the fifth position, we can call it as Li. And at fifth position other carbon chain is present and it is a type of alkyne, okay, as it has a triple bond, alkyne is there, okay, that is methohexytone. And at first position, okay, we have first is this position and here we have a methyl group attached. Okay, so this is the structure of the methohexytone. Now if we look onto the IUPAC name, first says 5-Li. So at fifth position we have Li, yes. At first position methyl, yes, it was there. Then 5,1-methyl 2-pentyl, yes. The ine group was there. Okay, the pentyne group was there at fifth position. Then barbiturate, yes, it can be considered. Then B says 5-ethyl. So was there an ethyl group at fifth position? No, there was an allyl group. So B can be removed. C says 5-ethyl again. D says 5-ethyl. So A is the answer. That says at fifth position we have the allyl group. So methohexytone. Next question we have 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾 is generally. 𝘿𝙄𝙎, what particular it is? It is a non-benzodiazepine pyrazolopyridine or pyrimidine. Sorry. B says benzodiazepine pyrazolopyrimidine. C says benzodiazepine pyrazolopyridine or non-benzodiazepine pyrazolopyridine. So first the structure here. Now here we don't have any benzodiazepine ring. Okay, so it is a type of non-benzodiazepine. Okay, so non-benzodiazepam we can say it. Okay, so first thing we got to know is it is a non-benzodiazepine. It doesn't contain any benzodiazepine ring. Next we have a phenyl ring here. Okay, next we have a pyrimidine ring. Pyrimidine ring at first and third position we have a nitrogen as a heteroatom and it is a ring that is unsaturated. So that is the pyrimidine. Here we have pyrimidine. And next ring that we have is pyrazole. Okay, with the two nitrogen at first and second position, that is pyrazole ring. So we have three rings here. One is it is non-benzodiazepine. Second it is a pyrimidine. Third it is a pyrazole. So if you look onto the option, so it is a non-benzodiazepine pyrazolopyrimidine. Okay. So the A is the correct answer. Next it says according to the SAR of benzodiazepine, Substitution at N1 by the dash group increases the activity. So this is the structure of benzodiazepine, the journal structure. So they are saying that at this particular group that is attached to N, what particular group can we add so it can result in the increasing in the activity? Is it the alkyl, 𝘿𝙄𝙎𝘾𝙄𝑖, aminoalkyl, or all of the above? So basically, any alkyl group added to this particular N1 position, it will result in the increase in the activity. Okay, so D, the all of the above will be the right answer. So D option, that is all of the above. Next we have identify the given structure. What is the given structure? First we look on to the options. Carbidopa, benzotropin, or the benzhexol. Okay, now benzhexol, benzotropin, benzerazide, or carbidopa. Now if we look on to the structure, we have a catechol ring here. Catechol ring. Okay, now catechol ring, what is that? A phenyl ring with at first and second position we have the hydroxy group, or beside each other, beside the carbons we have hydroxy group, that is the catechol ring. Now in this particular this drug, okay, which drug contain a catechol ring? So dopamine contain a catechol ring. Dopamine is also a type of catecholamine. Okay, so dopamine also contain a catechol ring, and here we can see carbidopa. Okay, a analog to the dopamine only. So carbidopa is the right answer. Now benzerazide, benzotropin, and benzhexol, these do not contain the catechol ring. So carbidopa is the answer here. So carbidopa, this structure belongs to carbidopa, that contains a catechol ring. Okay, so carbidopa. So these were the only questions that we are going to discuss here in this video. Okay, so in next video we will discuss the other questions. Hope you understood the concept and all the questions, why that particular answer is correct. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you.